The model spread on Erin continues to be wide, and now a Category 4 is on the table. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping tabs on this storm every step of the way here for you with a measured approach. I'm glad you're here. Let me respect your time and get right to the point here and show you what we're looking at here. This storm system continues to show a wide spread on the computer models. What I mean by that is some of the models have this curving out right over Bermuda and not even getting close to the islands or close to the United States. However, others want to take a more southern track toward parts of the Bahamas, getting very close and then getting in between Bermuda and the Outer Banks. My job in this video is to prepare you and to inform you with all the information. Right now, we are in monitor mode. It is not time to get overly stressed about this system, but when you're talking about the consequences being so high with a system like this, a Category 3, a Category 4, we really have to stay dialed in on this and let you know what's coming. So if you're new to this channel, please consider liking this video, comment in the comment section where you're watching from right now, and subscribe. That's the best way to stay informed when it comes to these type of events. I post these videos sometimes, usually twice a day, beginning of the day, end of the day, to give you updates so that you can kind of see them around the clock and get you the latest information when it comes to these models. Let's show you what's happening right now. I just showed you the Euro AI model. It continues to be the most aggressive with toward the west, but some of the other ensembles are showing we've got to stay dialed in on this. And here's the deal, folks. We're talking about this remaining a tropical storm a little bit longer. That means it's going to ride that westerly wave from this Bermuda high that sits right here. So as we move forward, we'll have to watch that Bermuda high. Does a weakness here, a trough in the atmosphere, come through, dip this Bermuda high enough to allow an opening there to allow Erin to escape out from moving west and start to move toward the north? Here's where the path has been so far. It's taken it off the coast of Africa and has caused flooding over the Cape Verde Islands. I mean, this thing's already caused flooding here in the Atlantic, and it's just getting started. So we need to really unpack in this computer model data what the impacts could be for the islands. I'm talking to you folks in the northern Lesser Antilles. Please let me know where you're watching from right now and share this with your family and friends. This is critical information you need to know about. And as we move forward here, we're going to be unpacking it because this could get very, very close to you later this weekend. We're talking in that 5 to 7 day time frame now that you're getting close to this storm system, and you have been in the cone or out of the cone. And also, how close does this get to the United States? Well, here's a look at the fresh model data showing that turn to the north happening Sunday into Monday. But look at the spread, folks. You have almost a 400-mile spread. Again, it's hurricane season. It's early on, so yeah, there's going to be a spread, but I don't love this. I do like how a lot of these keep it out to sea. You got the deterministic GFS way the heck out here. You got the deterministic European way out here. Not great for the 60,000 people that live in Bermuda, but it is not going toward the mainland United States according to these three deterministic models. However, you still have some outliers here, and a good amount of them, probably 10, 20% of them that take it very close to the islands. You'd be on the west side, but is that enough to cause some beach erosion, some wind, some rain? Certainly. Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, toward the east coast of the Carolinas. That's where we need to watch very, very closely. Now, the confidence in the models is high right now. It's moderate through about hours 96. So we're confident in the forecast of it moving toward the west and remaining kind of weak. What we're not so confident on, and this is not me, this is the model data telling us the confidence level, okay, just so we're clear. Let me zoom that back out again so you can see it a little bit. There is less spread in the models at 108, hours 120, and hours 132. So there's some moderate confidence all the way through here. Where we're left confident on is hours 144, 156, and 168 right here, because look at the spread from right there to right there. So that's why you see the confidence drops after hour 144. Now, that's normal. The deeper you are in the forecast, the less confident you are. But consistency breeds confidence in a forecast like this, and the models are fairly consistent with us staying offshore of the United States. That builds some confidence. Are we out of the woods? Absolutely not. I have seen these storms, Matthew being one of them, trucking toward the west. It's going to turn. It's going to turn. Wait a minute. It's not turning. It's not turning. So we know that these storm systems can do that, and that's what we're going to have to be dialing in on and watching out for. How close to the islands does it get, and where does it make that turn? And again, it bears repeating This is set to be a Cat 4 now, according to the computer models. The official National Hurricane Center forecast is a Cat 3, but many of the models are showing Cat 4. Also notice, many of these models go to 120 hours, so they cut off right here. The extended models curve it up. That's great. But notice how there are some southern fringe models where at the last hour, at 120, they're over here instead of over here and here. Is this a trend in the computer models? This is the tropical models. These are all the tropical models. Interesting, huh? This is the GFS. This is the Canadian. So the Canadian and the GFS are over here, while there seems to be a little bit of a trajectory toward the west. Is it coming to the United States? There's nothing to say that. But there is a lot of evidence to show Cat 3 looking very likely. Cat 4 certainly on the table, according to the latest models that run on this. The GFS plumes, okay, we got something to unpack here. This is the average of all the different GFS models. You've got the operational run here in red. You've got the ensemble member, which is well west of it, but still well within the realms of keeping the United States safe, and the islands for that matter. But look at this little arm that wants to go over here. Do you see that? There's a fringe of these GFS models that want to take it like that. That's new. The GFS yesterday was a little more consolidated, less coloring outside the lines here, and kind of curved it around. Now I hope that trend starts to lean that way going into the next model run. But we have to watch it. I don't love the spread here. It's not great. Right here to right here. That's why we can't let our guard down. How close to the United States does this get? Does it have a tendency to hug the southern part of this? We got to see. But here's the deal, folks. We're real tight in here. Real tight. All right? So there's some really good confidence here on the GFS and other models in here. Where we're not so sure is how southern does this move? Weaker is probably going to be a little bit toward the south. If it gets stronger earlier, notice how those models want to start to pull it toward the north. So let's look at the operational models. Let's start with the European. This is the latest 18Z run. It's chugging to the west, sort of weak, getting a little stronger near the Lesser Antilles. This would be Saturday morning. So now we're getting into, folks, where we're 4 or 5 days away. So that's why if there is going to be impacts, it could very well be in a matter of 4 or 5 days for you folks in Lesser Antilles. That's why we're dialed in. We're in monitor mode. We're not in freak out mode. We're not in stress out mode. I'll tell you if that becomes the case and we need to be stressed out or freaking out. We're never freaking out, right? We're preparing. My goal is always to arm you with the information you need. In this case, you should be dialed in the Lesser Antilles. I'm talking Antigua, Barbuda, parts of Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos. If I'm there, I'm dialed in. I'm saying, hey, what am I going to do if X, Y, and Z happens? All right? We're hoping it's not going to happen. We're praying that it's not going to happen. But what am I going to do if it does? All right? So having that plan, because this shows a really strong hurricane just north of you. And in fact, let's just zoom in. You're on the west side, so that's the better side. However, that's a big hurricane just to your north. The swells would be big. The wind would pick up. Nothing you haven't been through before. I get it. But we'd have to watch that. Now, the European here, the latest run, starts to curve it to the north, and it turns it into a major Cat 3 on the way to a Cat 4. Let's compare that to the 12Z run. Where does it sit? All right, you see that? New run, old run. New run, old run. Older run, oldest run. So there has been a little bit of a shift. Here's the newest, and there's the latest. A little bit slight jog to the west, but still well away from the United States. Let's look at the last full run of that. Let's run it all out. Threads that needle, folks. Wow. Goes right in between Bermuda and Cape Hatteras. Does not touch either, but my goodness, you're talking about a 931. If we're to look at the wind speeds in this, let's just look at that for a second. That is a monster. Bermuda's certainly in hurricane force winds, but according to this model down here, we'd be breaking the chart here. We're in 150, 180 mile per hour winds. That's Cat 3, Cat 4, that's approaching Cat 5. All right. Let's look at the AI European. This is the midday run. Doesn't really blow it up until it gets past the Lesser Antilles. That's when it wants to start to blow this thing up a little bit. It starts to curve. Does the same thing on the Euro AI as it did on the Euro operational run. Let's just zoom in a little bit. I mean, that's why I say, folks, Puerto Rico, I mean, you're right there. Just for some comparison, let's look at the surface wind speed. That core is certainly to the north of you, so that's certainly some good news. Let's look at precipitation. I mean, a track like this would certainly still get you some rain. Antigua, Barbuda, to the west, parts of the U.S. Virgin Islands, into Puerto Rico. I mean, this could have some impacts there. Now, the biggest rain's over here. But that thing's locked and loaded. That confused me for a second. That's the second system, by the way. All right, so here's Erin curling up right there. Woof. Then you have a very quick spin up behind it, where next Friday, end of next week, you have a trailing system that's weak over the islands, getting stronger over Haiti, getting stronger over the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, and then becoming a hurricane hitting South Florida. That would be next Sunday, Monday. So way out there. That's similar to what the models had for Erin early on. But that would not be great for the Southeast, the Carolinas, Georgia, or Florida. So we don't like the Euro AI. That is for sure. What's odd is the last run showed it. The last run before that showed it. And the one before that showed it. And the one before that showed it. There's consistency, folks. There's consistency. If so, that would be August 26th. That'd be the Tuesday before Labor Day weekend, so about a week before Labor Day. We'd have a storm system rolling up like that. The 12Z run is a little delayed, but it too hits the Keys, goes into the Gulf, goes near the Big Bend region. So that would put Florida's Gulf Coast at risk for a secondary storm. That is not Erin. Erin is out there. Then comes that second storm on the European. It's really the only one that shows that. Let's look at the Euro ensemble. It's got it threading the needle there between the Outer Banks and Bermuda. I mean, it's got lower pressure, but it's not really a lot. That's good news there on the Euro AI not having support from its ensemble members. Something to watch, though. Something just to kind of put back here somewhere. How about the GFS? Here comes Erin. What's interesting is the GFS has, curtailed to the Euro, which is not uncommon. Weaker until it gets to the islands, and then it curves it to the north almost instantly, which is a little hard to believe, but what's happening here? I'll show you what's really the main thing, is this dip in the jet stream right here. It weakens the Bermuda high enough. Right here, you see that low impinging upon that high pressure, blocks it, allows Erin to escape safely to the north, well east of Bermuda. Now, wouldn't that be something? GFS would be great. Thank you, GFS. We'll take it. East of Bermuda, east of the United States, that would be amazing. Does it have ensemble support? Not really. There's Bermuda. You got a significant amount of lows over here. There's Bermuda, less lows over here. So the models do not support themselves. But what you don't see here is a lot of them coming to the United States, which is good news. All right. Let's look closer at the Canadian model. Weaker, 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 blowing up. Now that it's blowing up, it's moving north. And you see that other system, remember our secondary system? This is the one, it's almost like a block play in football. You got the runner behind it. The runner would be Erin, and you got the blocker out ahead of it. It blocks the Bermuda high, allows an escape to the north. Boom. Erin goes to the north away from the United States. And you don't really have anything else back in here. You have a couple back here to watch, but that's about it. How about the Icon, which is the German model? Got a stronger storm system forming here. Getting close to the islands. Interesting. This is the further west that the icon, the German model, has taken this. Let's look at the last run. Gives us a few more frames out of it. Interesting. Yowza. I mean, that thing is a beast on the German model. Look at that. I mean, what are we even at here pressure-wise? 943. That's Cat 4, Cat 5, folks. I mean, that's crazy. And big. I mean, you look at the size of it. Tropical storm force winds would extend way out in a situation like that. I mean, it would certainly be turning up some water here. All right. 2 things I want to show you before we answer your questions. I don't love the European ensembles. I just don't. There are too many of them that are too close to the United States. You know, is it better than them showing it over the United States right now? Absolutely. But there's a huge spread from right here to right here. So what does that mean in layman's terms? Well, let's zoom in. I mean, there's Bermuda, there's the Outer Banks. Most of them are safely in between. There's a big grouping right here that hugs it up against, these are 51 different runs of the European, by the way. Big grouping here that hugs it up right against Bermuda. And then there's this. There are these other ones that are just suspiciously close to the United States. This is a different look than yesterday and a little bit further to the west than yesterday. So that shift west has happened, and it's just kind of maintained. It hasn't kept going west, but that shift to the west happened, and it's kind of anchored right there. So does that shift occur another way tomorrow? We're going to have to wait and see. Let's look at that kind of plotted in a pretty little map for you. So great consistency, great chances for tropical movement here, and it curves it up. You've got a big spread here, folks, and that's why I keep stressing. We've got to stay dialed in on Erin and where it's going, because we know a lot. You know, look at where we are compared to 5-6 days ago, folks. And some of you will say in the comments section, you know, well, why don't you know? Well, you know, we just don't know certain things at certain times when it comes to the tropics. And when we get to the point where we do know, it helps give us information. And in this case, I do know a lot more than I knew 3 or 4 days ago. So that's helping me matriculate a forecast here. And in this case, a forecast that does show some threats. So when we start looking at it and we keep looking at it again, there's a little bit more information, a few more clues that we learn every single day. And that's what I'm thankful for, is that every single day we're able to get in here, we're able to get a lot more information in, and we're able to see what these models are trying to tell us. And in this case, they're trying to tell us, you know, we need to stay dialed in on this. There's not an active, you know, shout it from the rooftops kind of threat right now, but there's one that's possible. How close does this end up getting to the United States? That's what I need to try to iron out in the coming days, and what, honestly, we will iron out in the coming days. So, folks, thank you for being here. I know that your time is valuable. I appreciate that some of you spend your day with me, some of you twice a day, and I see you. I see you in here on the comment section. I want to get to some of those comments here because I'm just so thankful that you're here. Let me freshen up my screen a little bit, scoot this over, and we'll be able to get some of your comments here. And there we go. All right, so where are you guys watching from? If you will, in the comment section right now, let me know where you're watching from, and then we'll answer some of your questions. We'll see where some of you are watching from right now. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and like this video. Comment in the comment section today so I can read it for the next video. And then subscribe to the channel. That'll help more of you see this, and we'll keep you posted along the way. So where in the world are you? We got Hope watching right now from Wilmington, North Carolina. We can predict all day. Each hurricane has a name for a reason. They are all unique. Erin is going to go where she wants to go. All we can do is watch and get ready. 100%. Great attitude to have, Hope. And that's why my goal is always to prepare you, not to scare you. No hype, just want to inform you. I'm going to be early. I'm going to make some gutsy calls. That's what I do. That's the purpose of my channel. Otherwise, you could just pull it up on your phone, right? You know, why watch? The point of this channel is to give you warnings and to give you an early warning of it. We got Lakeland, Florida here. Goldsboro, North Carolina. Thank you so much for kind words. Cape Cod's in the house. Simpsonville in the house. Thank you so much. Sanford, North Carolina. School begins this week. Keeping a close eye on, determine whether I need to plan for learning days. Oh, yeah. The all-important learning days. Yeah, we'll keep you posted for sure. Massachusetts will keep watching. Janet, thank you. Yes, absolutely. We'll keep you posted. I mean, you have been in that path a couple of different times here where it gets dangerously close. While rare, not uncommon, and not out of the realm of possibilities, I should say. Dear Erin, do not hit Bermuda or any land, but please bring amazing swells to the state of Florida. All right, Chris wants to go. You want to get out there and enjoy it, right? All right, surfing. You want to go surfing. Statesboro, Georgia, in the house. Paul, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm flying out to Miami from London on the 25th. I chose the best time to visit the States. I still think you should not cancel plans. I would not cancel plans if I were leaving London coming to the United States, but I'd be watching it, okay? This has plenty of time to curve, and I'm hopeful, and I'm thinking that's going to be the case for you. The 25th is a long time, and I think even if Erin were to come, if you're leaving London and coming on the 25th, Erin's probably gone by then. It would be another threat if there was one, okay? We got Chapel Hill in the house. Thank you for keeping us informed. You bet. Puerto Rico in the house. Thank you for watching. Please tell your friends and family. I'll keep you posted. Thank you for your diligent work at keeping us informed. I'm watching from Tallahassee. We got Central Florida in the house. Watching it. Let's see. We got Miss Southern Grace here. The last models had tried to shift to the west, and that's a big deal. If Chris is saying something like that, it's a big deal. Don't panic, folks, but pay attention. The only weatherman trusted for true information in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Thank you for your information, sir. Please keep up the great work, as there are many, many people who depend on your forecast. Well, thank you so much. Your words mean so much to me. I definitely try to give you an honest opinion of what's going on. It is a big deal for the models to shift like they do, and trends are everything right now. Chris, thank you for the amazing job you do. We got Delaware in the house. We got Tamarack, Florida. Winter Haven in the house. Thank you. Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. Raul's watching from Tampa. Andrew, Linda saying about Andrew, oh man, we never want another Andrew. Even days out, Erin seems to show missing the New England area, but I'm not letting my guard down. My suspicion. I live on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. Great way to look at it. You know, you're cautiously optimistic. That's what I like to say on TV. We're optimistic. We're cautiously optimistic. Hi from Blue Ridge, Lowell, Calabash, Hartwell, Georgia, Orlando. I don't listen live. I listen to you while at work with my earpiece in. All right, rock on. Don't get in trouble. If the boss comes up, say, hey, I got some information on the weather. I'm helping our business. I'm helping our us stay safe, right? You want the latest information, right? John Bryant's watching from Oriental, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We got Roanoke, Virginia, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. What else we got? Barrington, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. I wake up at 5 a.m. You're the first thing I watch. Rose, thank you so much. Good morning to you if you're watching at 5 a.m. Hope you had a good night's sleep. Hope you have a great day. Miami, Florida is in the house. Kalamazoo, but we'll travel to South Carolina end of the month, watching Erin closely. We got Charleston, South Carolina house, Lawrence, South Carolina, Oak Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Satellite Beach, Florida. We got Florida in the house, Miami, St. Augustine, Fort Lauderdale, Greenwood, Charleston, Antigua. Says she just wants some rain, but no impact. I agree with you. It looks like you will get some rain if the current forecast holds, okay? The Bahamas watching right now. Thank you. Louisiana. Got more from the Bahamas here. From D.C., but supposed to travel to St. Martin on Friday, maybe. You know, I'd be watching it in St. Martin. You know, Friday would be when it's getting closer, but all eyes are that it's going to go north of St. Martin. I feel good about St. Martin right now. Please check back in, though. Don't just hop on the flight and say, okay, as of Tuesday, we're good. No, check in again tomorrow, check in again Thursday, just to be sure. But I'd be packing. I'd start packing. You're looking okay. Rochester, New York. I got a feeling it's not going to turn and go straight to Savannah. Oh, goodness. I hope not. We'll keep you posted if it does, but that does not look to be the case right now. Fort Mill, South Carolina, love your work. Thank you. Hampton, Virginia, Orlando, Florida, Clifton, South Carolina, Clemens, North Carolina. One of my best friends in the world is from Clemens, Mitch Taylor. You watching right now, Mitch? Columbia, South Carolina, Milesville, Georgia. Yell it with me now. Fish storm. Yeah, can we all get a fish storm? Say it with me now. Fish storm. Where are the kids at in the room? Fish storm. Yeah, I'm with you there. Nature Coast, Florida. Let's see. New York City. It'll brush the U.S. All right. It very well could. Greenville, South Carolina, the house, South Carolina. Tampa, Florida. Highlands, North Carolina. Stone Mountain, Georgia. Myrtle Beach, Savannah, Georgia. Charleston, South Carolina. 96. Port Deposit, Maryland. Folks, I am so thankful you're here. Please, if you're new to this channel, like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will keep you posted. Another one of these updates coming down the pipe for you very soon. I will be on top of the trends, and I will let you know every step of the way as they come through.